In general, 3D printing has improved so many areas of our lives, but I was asking myself one weird question. Can we also 3D print our own fashion? I want to answer that question with that video, because with 3D printers that cost less than 200 euros, you can generate limitless ideas. To make it clear from the beginning, I do not consider myself as a person with a good sense of fashion or design, but there are people out there who could probably make great things with that idea, and that's what the community is all about. People are improving people's designs and ideas. But now let's make our own art piece. If you want to have your own logo or a photo on your t-shirt, you can open the program Inscape, import your logo or drawing or whatever, and all you have to do is get it bigger, make sure that the side ratio is okay, and then all you have to do is click on path and then bitmap drawing, I think it's called in English, and all you have to do is delete the picture, and then you have your logo in an SVG drawing. Therefore you just have to save as, and then let's go logo, and now you have it. Okay, now we can open Fusion 360 or whatever CAD program you like to use, and then we start with the new sketch and open the SVG data. So I'll make it somewhere around the 50mm range. I don't know how the original symbol will turn out, but let's see. Now we extrude it to 0.4mm, which is exactly 2 layers when we use 0.2 layer height. And then you can export it in STL or 3MF. In that case, I will export it to 3MF. Now we can open the Bamboo Studio and with a new project, and you can import the 3MF data. So now it's not correct, we can lay it here on the print plate, and now it's correct because we have to mirror it, because when we melt it on the t-shirt or cloth, whatever you want or wherever you want to melt it, you have to mirror it here, because then you mirror it again on the drawing. So that's why we have to mirror it here. And all I have to do now is to, I don't know if you have to do that, but I did it and I had the best results with that settings. So I changed the set offset to -0.01, so that we have 0.01 millimeters less depth of the first layer. So I changed that value, and then I just switched to a generic TPU. So I slice it, and no, I have to change one thing, because I would like to have a skirt on it, just to, I mean, you can remove it later on, but I think it works best because then you have a little space again to melt a little bit of the TPU, and if there are some leftovers on the nozzles, it will be on the skirt. So I will make 2 layers, two loops, and then you can remove that one. That made the best results for myself, so let's see how it turns out, and then I'll send it to the printer. So now the fun part comes. I used some baking paper, and I used some 3D lac spray to get some adhesion on the baking paper. You can probably also use hairspray. I don't know, this works for me. You can also try it with hairspray. And then I used the self-designed clips. So you can put one here, put one here. So now I properly positioned it and get a little bit tension on with the clips. And you have to be careful. I can also upload the 3D data of these clips, but they're just simple clips. But you have to be careful, there's not much space here. So you have to be careful on that one. Yeah, used some 3D lac spray, positioned the baking paper, and let's see how it turns out. So I also turned down the flow calibration, so just bed leveling and printing. You can look here how close it is with the clips. So he will just do the vibration compensation and auto bed leveling, and I cancelled the flow rate calibration. So as I said before, the printer does the normal auto bed leveling, but also with the baking paper on it. But for the last prints it worked very well. So now he made the first line. The one thing I do is that I slow down the print to 50%. Especially when you print with TPO, it's better to print slower. But that's why I do the skirt, to have some leftovers here. But let's see how the print turns out. So now the print is done, and you can remove the leftovers and also the skirt. And now we're ready for the melting on the cloth or t-shirt. So I marked where I would like to have the logo on, and meanwhile I heated the iron to the maximum setting where the temperature is the highest. So the iron is heated up. I removed these. And the first step is to really slightly melt it on the cloth. So I really try to do not really press it that much into the cloth, because it then gets too squishy. Let's see if I think it was already enough or a little bit too much. Here not. Let's go down, try one time. So that was perfect. So now I take the shirt carefully, turn it into the inside a little bit, looking into the inside. Look good. The trick is to have it 40 seconds heat with the maximum on it, and then one slight press and the t-shirt should hold very good and look very good. Let's see if this happens. You can also do this process a second time if you feel like the edges are not really good melted into the plastic. Still looks fine. And you can see on the edges it's like really melted into the cotton. So that's exactly how we want the shirt. I think this process works surprisingly good, and I also did a few washings with the shirts and they still are fine into the cotton. You can for sure make some other pieces like caps or hoodies. You can write me your ideas down below, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask.